Alana Herman was actually evacuated to Lumberton from her home in South Carolina during Hurricane Matthew. She joins us now via Skype from Charleston. Alana, you've got such an interesting story to tell. Take us back to when you first evacuated and what the plan was when you left your home in South Carolina.
Well, I first went to stay with some friends in Sumter, South Carolina on Tuesday night, and the roads were crazy getting out of Charleston, but I made it safely to Sumter. And then on Friday, I went to visit my sister in Lumberton, North Carolina. And Friday night was pretty good, just a little bit of a drizzle, but we woke up on Saturday to a neighbor knocking on the door telling us that our cars were going to be underwater soon. So the rain was so heavy overnight that it was already at least a foot deep, and it progressed all throughout the day with heavy rain, and the water almost came into our house in Lumberton.
So where you ended up evacuating to, you ended up having to evacuate again. What did you do when that water came up?
Yeah, we were pretty much stranded because the roads were so bad that you couldn't go anywhere. And we lost power, so we pretty much just had to stay inside and wait it out.
Alana, did you have any idea of the rainfall that would be waiting as you sort of moved inland?
I had no idea. It was very surprising.
Is it one of those deals where, as a South Carolina resident, you're really maybe narrowly focused on South Carolina and not necessarily looking to where you're going to?
I think just the biggest concern was on the coast, so it made sense to go more inland, and it seemed like Matthew really wasn't going to hit hard in the area that I was going.
And how did your place end up in Charleston?
In Charleston, where my apartment is, was pretty good. I heard that power just flickered briefly. There are some trees down, but no major damage here.
Have you ever been through a circumstance like this before? Have you gone through an evacuation before?
This is my first time. I've never done it before.
Tell us what your first time experience has been like.
It's been pretty scary. I'm not used to anything like this. The water being so high and the roads completely flooded. It was really scary to see people stranded on the highways and see cars just being taken away and homes underwater.
What's the general sense, Alana, just talking to folks that you know there in the Charleston area, after the fact, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Are you hearing from people that, hey, we shouldn't have gone, we shouldn't have left, or are folks, do they feel good that they left anyway?
I think people felt better to evacuate since the predictions were pretty bad for Charleston, but I think in hindsight, the storm was definitely less severe than was predicted, although there was significant flooding and wind damage. But overall, people seemed to stay pretty safe in Charleston, and people were really prepared for the storm.
Alana, how is your sister's place now?
Right now, she actually evacuated on Tuesday to Fayetteville, and what I've heard is that the flooding has gotten worse with the Lumber River just overflowing even more. So they're not even letting people back into Lumberton once they leave. So I'm not completely sure, but I've just heard that it's getting progressively worse.
What an experience to go through. Alana Herman joining us live this evening. Alana, thanks so much for telling us your story. Glad you made it out of there okay. Glad your sister made it out of there okay. We'll look for maybe an update once she gets back home.